All right, hello everyone. Welcome to our weekly stream for Tales from Candlekeep. I'm Olivier and I'm joined by Felix. Hi. Felix.
Hey.
And sorry guys, Sophie couldn't be here today as well as Paul, so everything's mixed up. But we'll hang out with you today, and it's gonna be great. So we'll just go through a survival mission or adventure, and we'll just chat with you guys and hang out with you. All right, so I'll just open the game right here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to kick off the weekend doing the stream again this week, so I'm lucky. I've done it twice this week. And
you've been doing you've been doing a lot of streams this week. I think we're going to have more next week as well.
Probably because we're in the indie amplifier hyping sequence. This
week was the announcement for Twitch event, which is Indie Amplifier, and we're part of it. So what that is that Twitch chose a few games, and you guys have to vote for your favorite game, and we're the only D&D game which is part of the Twitch Indie Amplifier. So please, guys, go on Twitch, and if you will, vote for us. We'll be very glad and very grateful if you do.
You can vote until March 11th, and you have one vote to cast, so make your choice.
Choose wisely.
And when the contest is over on March 11th, the voting stops, and then on March 15th, the winner is revealed, and the game with the most votes gets awarded to every member that has a Twitch Prime account. So you all win. And also, don't forget to catch. There are going to be 2 special streams not featuring us, or Sophie, or Fred, or Paul, but they're going to be talking about the D&D game. So there's one on next Monday, on February 26th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, with Giant Waffle and Bacon Donut that are going to talk about the Tales from Candlekeep game. And there's another one on March 9th, so last call to go vote, with Simcopter 1. I really like the names. And at 9 p.m. Pacific, and they're going to be talking specifically about Tales from Candlekeep.
Nice.
So
that's very cool.
Yep.
Okay, so can you guys hear us well? We haven't talked with you.
Hi, PBNJ Otter, Steve the Dissec. So, they can see us at least because they're jealous of your hair.
All right, Steve, it's a lot of time, but I'm sure you can make it.
Dedication.
Dedication, loud and clear.
Perfect.
All right. So let's open that game. Okay, so full game.
Thank you, PBNJ.
Right here. Okay.
So we are surviving today, right?
Yeah, so we'll go through a side adventure which is called Eruption. The objective for this specific adventure is survival, which means that you have to survive for a set amount of turns, as well as exploring different tiles. So you have 2 objectives at once, and we have 2 objectives to prevent players from just staying and just skipping turns on the starting tile, which would not be very fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And Dayhex, welcome. Hi.
Hey Dayhex, how you doing?
A new viewer. And Operkio, hello. And Yagar, hi too.
We're starting to recognize a lot of names.
It's fun.
So. Yeah, we know when newcomers come and say hello, and it's very nice to see new people.
So what kind of party will you be taking into
so
survival?
I want to go and on hard difficulty, but I'm just looking at my gear right now because I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that, but for the newcomers, in Tales from Candlekeep, you can craft different items and equipment for your characters, for your party, and that will increase very specific components of their stats. It's not actual stats because let's see here that we can see that crafting an upgrade for Artis' main weapon will increase his at-will powers.
Okay.
So this includes all of his
So you can
at-will
you
powers.
can activate them more than once in a mission. So two
well,
extra times, or they get +2.
yeah, it's the actual. Well, like you said, it's the actual stats of those attacks that increases, because at-will attacks can be used at each.
Yeah, there's no
turn.
limit.
Yeah, there's no limit how
like
many times you can use your at-will powers, but they'll be more powerful each time you use them. So that's pretty neat.
So
Okay.
PB&J and Steve. Well, we're going to talk about Steve's question, but PB&J, if you run into an issue, I think you go on Steam and you can submit bugs or talk in the forums. There's a great crew of people upstairs. Well, doesn't matter to you, but they're upstairs in the office, and they will answer your questions and take note of the bugs that you may have found. And Steve is asking if there's a bug in crafting. He has 240 plus of each legendary, but he can't build things that need less legendaries. Is it something that...
I don't understand the question, but
So,
I can build
Steve-
things that need less legendaries.
So there's legendary
What
crafting
does-
items?
Yeah, because there's an item. Well, each character has 4 categories of items, and each category has 5 items in them. For each rarity, each rarity. So you have common, rare, very rare, and legendary. But I'm not quite sure I understand
you
what's the
go,
problem. Each
hover an item's craft button.
craft button. So if I go over a craft button, I see the recipe. So I see what I have in stock and how much it costs in gold. So do you have enough gold to craft it, or that might be the problem?
We can have a look at that.
Yeah.
And PB&J, I believe it's in the forum about the game. So the community, and there should be an issue forum or something. I haven't had the chance to check it out, but
Yeah, Sophie is taking care of that.
Okay.
She's very hard at work and looking at the chat in forums when she comes in the morning.
answering questions and dispatching the issues to the right people.
All right, so
But-
I think
okay.
I'm all clear for hard difficulty. Might be
So a full
bit
party.
challenging. Yeah, full party.
Okay.
Full party. I'm just gonna go quickly over my powers because
Are there-
sometimes people just choose stuff that I'm not used to.
And are there powers that would be better for a survival mission? Like
Well,
healing
everything
or-
that's a buff, like Shara's mage armor or heroism from Dragonbait is always welcome.
Barkskin.
And Birdsong is very useful in those type of missions because she's mostly the support character where she has the most buffs, as well as this very useful utility power over here, which is Dispel Magic, which lets you cancel an encounter without spending adrenaline. So this is pretty cool.
So apparently Steve's problem was an issue with gold.
All right. Okay. Jack of all trades. Apply
So Jack of all trades buffs everybody on the tile.
So this is pretty cool for this type of mission, as well as Song of Rest. I'm gonna go with that. Kawasha, select the hero. So Kawasha has a healing utility power, which is, Birdsong can heal with Song of Rest right here,
Okay.
but it's not as powerful as Kawasha's Good Berry. So I'm gonna choose that, and also Barkskin. So everything that increases your AC, buffs your party, that's great for this type of quest.
Okay. Are there more ambushes from enemies?
We tweaked a bit of, some quests. We tweaked the card pile, if you will, to get very specific monsters or very specific encounters or tiles. But
Okay.
in this type of quest, we kept it as default.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go with that.
Yeah, so by removing some of the encounters or exploration tiles, you can like tailor the quest.
Because there is a quest in there which asks the players to try to escape the death curse. So there's an encounter in the game which is called the death curse, and when that happens, there's a roll check, and if the die rolls an 18 or plus, you lose an healing surge.
Okay.
So this is pretty. This is a bad encounter, but. So what we did in there, we increased the person chance of having that very encounter.
Okay, so for specific mission.
Okay, so right now I'm in the jungle. I'm starting with Birdsong because she got the highest initiative roll. So if I look up here, I can see my quest objectives. So survive and explore. So I can see here that on hard difficulty, I have to explore 12 tiles as well as surviving 12 turns. So I'm just going to go and do that. Let's move right here and explore.
So to everybody in chat that may be listening or watching, don't feel free to chat with us. Anything you want to talk about the game, about D&D in general, about what we do at Become Studios, or I don't know, you may have some other ideas.
And each time I'm having a stream, I'm always playing, and I'm having so much trouble playing and talking at the same time. So please, guys, bear with me if I'm not talking very much. I'm gonna try to be a better player this time, because I tend to let the game a bit.
Yeah,
I play like
it's difficult to multitask, like having a good conversation while still doing something not completely dumb in the game.
Okay. So I'm going to move right here and then use an attack to down that Velociraptor. So this is the way to go in the game, because a lot of people are having trouble with encounters. I won't go over all the basics of the game this time, but basically when you don't explore, you get an encounter. And most of the time encounters are negative, have a negative effect. So the way to go is trying to position your heroes to explore as well as having or using an attack at the same time. So this way, when I end my turn, I'm going to explore this way. No encounters unless I pick a challenging tile, which you get an encounter anyway. But that lets me be inside of this enemy and still hit
the raptor.
And
but
I
not
get
this
a
time.
1. What? First roll, a 1. So this is my luck, guys.
And hello, Unigidon Music. Sorry about your name again. And thank you that it looks very cool, for saying that it looks very cool. And I hope you find it interesting too. Happy to have you in the chat.
And we listen to you guys a lot. We have some restrictions too, because nothing is free, but we really enjoy having your comments and input and feedback. So and also we sometimes have I think it's PB&J that talked about this earlier, but we get bugs sometime that we try to fix as early as possible. So we really try to listen to you as much as possible and try to put in the game what you guys would like to see in there.
For example, the dice that are showing up on screen when you roll, that's not something that was in that launch, right?
Yep, exactly. Okay, so right now I'm bleeding with Birdsong, and if you guys are not sure what the icons mean, you can always hover over, roll over with your mouse and read the effect, what the status or the condition means.
So you don't want to move if you're bleeding.
Exactly. Okay, so now I'm playing with Dragonbait. I'm gonna explore over here, like I said earlier. So exploring and hitting at the same time. So going over here, and then trying myself with an attack. So right now I'm gonna use a nat willpower, and you can see here how much what I need to roll to hit the
so 6
the
or
target.
more.
Yeah, 6
That
or
should
more
be
on
easy.
the die. So you have to calculate with your attack value which is in the powers description. So you can see right here, this character has 17 AC, and this power has 11 attack, so 11 plus 6 equals 17. So that's how all of this works.
And yeah, okay. Well, thank you, PBNJ, for answering Unigedon Music's question. But Unigedon Music is curious about how close to the tabletop combat system abilities the game runs. But I can answer that. Yay! I don't know all about the game, but I know about the adventure system. So the game is based on the Tomb of Annihilation. I'm still acting stuff with my hands over here. Not sure why, because I'm not in the frame. But there's a boxed tabletop. There's a boxed board game about Tomb of Annihilation. That's part of the D&D adventure system. That's made of 5 games.
Yep.
I'm always not remembering one, but there's Ravenloft,
Wrath of
Druids,
Ashardalon, Legend of Druids, Temple of Elemental Evil, and Tales from Candlekeep.
Tomb of Annihilation, right?
Yeah, right.
Tales from Candlekeep is our game.
Man, so many words.
And yeah, those 5 board games make up the D&D adventure system, so they're all compatible between each other. And our game is based on Tomb of Annihilation, the latest one that came out in October, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, late in 2017. And PBNJ is saying 6 games, not 7. Okay, well, there's 6 games. Thank you.
We said 5.
Yeah, I think 5. Well,
anyways,
handful of really big, heavy games, and the game mimics is based on and really interprets pretty closely the Tomb of Annihilation board game. So 99% of the content.
Yeah, it
is
works.
In there.
We tried to stay as close as possible to the rules of the board game. Like I said in the previous stream, at first when we started to create the game, we did not have the system. Like a card pile works. When you go through all the cards and you have your discard pile, and then you go through your discard pile, shuffle, and then use that again. We just had a weight system and go through that, so it did not have the same balancing. So we tried to we created that to be as close as possible to the rule set of the game and the general balancing. So the attacks and the combat system works pretty much the same as the board game.
Yeah, and from a game designer's standpoint, if somebody else did the game balance for you, then just take it and go with it.
We had to do a bit of tweaking because the stats aren't all the same, because we have
there's a progression system.
Yeah, there's a difficulty progression system. So all the characters in the board game have always the same stats, and that's it. But in our game, we have side quests, and also the enemies, monsters, and villains. They increase in power and defense the more you progress in the game. And we have also difficulty settings that also affects that.
Yeah, you can do the missions on normal, hard, and horrific, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
will the monsters scale up? Still acting with my hands. Scale up even if you don't gear up your characters.
Yep.
So eventually they're gonna.
It's not related to the player's progression. It's related to how far you are in the story, basically. Okay. Yeah.
So eventually, if you don't gear up your characters, you're gonna get your butt kicked.
It's your main reason why you want to gear up is that the game eventually becomes too hard to tackle, and you just get obliterated by everything. Like stepping on a trap that deals 6 damage when right now I'm having some plus 2 plus 3 gear, and I'm having only 9 or 11 HP. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah. And Steve, I don't believe we have any announcements on new content.
We don't.
No,
not this week.
At the end of yesterday's stream, Paul was supposed to be here today with Sophie, so we're both replacements. And I was saying that since Paul is the producer of the game, you can grill him about questions about new stuff, but I'm not going to risk talking about potential leaks or I don't know. Don't want to commit to anything. Get my fingers tapped.
I'm not playing right now. I'm thinking too much. Okay, so now I'm playing with Kawasha. I don't want to split the party too much, but I can maybe use an attack or no.
Can you go explore?
I already use. Okay, so right now I just I used my special ability to call Kupalue, which is my ally. We talked a lot about him in the previous streams. But so this used one of my actions. So right now I can only move. So I'm gonna move over here and explore.
So about Kawasha, he's new in the game.
Yep.
He came out last week, the week before.
Yeah, February 15th.
Okay, so
yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
7 days ago, 8 days. So what were the challenges in making and designing Kawasha?
Well, we kept it for later for a reason, because it was a bit more complicated than the others, mainly because you can shapeshift into different wild shapes. So, yeah, that didn't fit in the scope of the game at first. But the main challenges was really to, make the shape interesting as a mechanic, because we weren't sure it would work. In the board game, everything works because there's a bit of imagination of the players, but we weren't sure it would, be
translate well.
Yeah, translate well in the board game. So that was, I think, the main challenge, and also having different mesh and different 3D models to animate and stuff like that. That's the reason why we have the Velociraptor, because if you guys go and play the board game, you will find other wild shape that we don't have in our game.
Are there more, or are there just two different ones?
There are three wild shapes in the board game. They have the ape, but they have two others. So if you guys want to know what that is, I suggest you go and try the board game.
Yeah, I didn't have time to bring the whole board game and set it up so that we can look at it today, but maybe some other time. And Steve is trying to set us up for a run in the minefield or something. Which one would you guys want next? Not an announcement, just a personal opinion. That's risky.
Personal opinion. I haven't played them all. That's the first thing. But from my point of view, I really enjoyed. I love Duritz and all of that. I love, but I think I prefer the setting of Castle Ravenloft.
Okay.
I just love Barovia and all that, vampire setting and gothic look. I don't know. It's a hard question. I always hesitate every time someone asks that, but I'd go for, I think, Castle Ravenloft.
Okay. And thank you for subscribing, Brig JK, and PB&J Otters talking about Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that's not in the adventure system, right?
No, yeah.
But it's a fun game too. We played it at work, and we had it, and I wanted to bring it back home. So lucky me. But it's a really fun game with, you still play in the D&D universe, and the characters are really cool too. So and you still get the feeling of playing D&D. Again, just like the adventure system, it's not the whole thing, but you get that
a simplified version of the rule set. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, it's okay. But you still get like the sort of gateway to D&D. While your characters are classes from D&D. They have names sometimes. Like some of us got the Wizards Christmas bundle. There was a character in there that was Santa, I think, or was it Mince?
I don't remember.
But there was a character for Betrayal at Baldur's Gate that you can bring into the game. It works with the others. That's really cool. So, and Unagedon Music is saying that these characters are losing a lot of blood.
Yeah, I know, right?
So the Raptors have,
and this is pretty tricky because, okay, so let's talk a bit about strategy.
Go ahead.
Bleeding. When we read the description, it says you take 1 damage per move. Moving not per square, but per movement. Sure. Yeah, every time you move, it costs like 1 move. So let's say you would use both action to move, you would lose 2 HP.
Okay.
But to remove the effect, you have to not move for one turn.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I have my ally, which has its own mind, well, a mind of its own, and if, well, I don't control if he moves or not, so, but he will attack close enemies. So right here, I have an enemy,
Okay.
and if I want him not to move, I better not kill that enemy
Mhm.
right here. So,
But
to remove the effect.
maybe
Otherwise, he would move.
Would the enemy play before him though? Is there that
Well,
risk?
the enemy will only play the villain phase of the hero that controls
Mhm.
controls it.
Was it Artus, I think?
Well, we'll see. So right here, yeah, Artist controls the Velociraptor. Right here on the right, if you guys don't know, it's the the order timeline where the order in which your hero will play. But you can see there when monsters as well will play. And also if you click on their portrait, that's why you get all the information about your heroes, all their powers, all their stats, and also which enemy they control.
Okay, and Cherry Baby is talking about having a dream where he's entering and his character isn't done. Usually for me that's like school in my underwear. But and asking if it's only available on Apple products. No, it's on Steam and Twitch.
Yep, exactly. It's not mobile. It's a PC game.
Mhm.
But I think maybe he meant Macs.
On what? Sorry.
Apple products on Macs.
Yeah, well, Steam is on. You can get it on
Yeah,
Mac, right?
The version is available for, if I
PC and
remember
Mac.
correctly, PC and Mac.
Okay. And Steve is asking if he wishes that we could have put the monsters in the initiative list to see what's coming up.
The problem with that is that when you get a lot of monsters, we worried about having that order go down, but I'm pretty sure there's something we could do about that.
Maybe just the ones that are coming up after this character or something.
Yeah, but this is how it works right now. Like right now, I can see that Shara doesn't control any monsters, but having Artis controlling an enemy right here and not seeing that he's going to play right under Artis. And also the problem is that's another rule that is taken from the board game. This is a bit more tricky, but I'll try to summarize it as well as I can. You cannot have more than 3 of the same monster on the board at the same time.
Okay.
First rule.
In the board game or in this one too?
Both.
Okay.
Second rule, each time a monster activates, all of the other monsters that have the same name activate as well.
Okay.
Even though they're not controlled by the hero that controls them.
Okay, which can get messy, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so that would... Well, when a monster is going to play, in this turn, you will see its portrait appear on the the timeline on the right.
Okay.
But that there's a lot of movement in there, so I think just having it like that is cleaner, if I can say.
Yeah.
But
And Travis, you can get it on Steam or on the Twitch store, but you don't have to be online to play it once you've installed it, right?
yeah.
Okay. So, yesterday I did the stream and it was a different time, so there were different people, and we had a really interesting conversation about like how people play their tabletop games, and we heard about like families playing together with the younger kids, and that was really interesting. I'm just curious about if the people in the chat right now, have like, I don't know, special stuff that they do in their tabletop games, and if you play tabletop games, or I wrote down some notes, so I prepared a topic where if you're playing a game or if you're DMing a game, do you prefer like constant battles like hack and slash adventures, or mysteries, or role playing, or lots of more dice rolling, less dice rolling? I'm just curious about what your favorite play style is. But you don't have to. It's not an interrogatory or interrogation or anything. Just curious. And since you're playing, I'm going to try to distract you again with questions. So, we received the project where, we're making a board game into a video game.
Yeah.
How did it work for you? Did you just read the rule book 20 times, start to bottom, and then you can recite it backwards or something? Or
well, first I had to write down a game design document for the team. So yeah, I went through the the rule book of the board game, that very specific board game, because the thing to understand is that WizKids have made a couple of the board games, but I think they haven't made them all. They haven't made all of them.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that. And each time they release a new game in the adventure system, they sometimes change a bit of the the components and rules and stuff like that. So I could go in the previous board games to read different things, but their latest game was Tomb of Annihilation, so I had to stick with that first thing. And also I was not I didn't have a lot of knowledge in the Chilton lore and what happened in previous Tomb of Horrors, because this is I don't want to say remake, but this is based on a very old
it was in first edition.
Yeah,
second?
I think it was the first, which was called Tomb of Horrors, which was known to be a very very difficult and harsh on their players. So I had to get informed on that very topic. But something that was nice was that I could read the the adventure book that was released for this very adventure for the pen and paper tabletop RPG. So before that book was released, I could read it. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
To have this and just for myself. It was
it helps create the environments and the monsters and
because we didn't have a lot of information or reference and stuff like that, so it was nice to just share this with the team and just talking about how the Tomb of the Nine Gods and Jungles of Chult would look like. So they get their creativity just starts to
giving references to artists helps them get going and get inspired.
Yeah.
So El Ripper, Milenio, to everybody talking, and we're streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yep.
So that's a lot of places to keep tabs on. So that's why my eyes are scanning the screen right now. And thank you, El Ripper, for saying that it's a beautiful game. I think it is, indeed. And now some answers to my little questions. So Elric is playing a hack and slash battle game, and then Thug Funny DMing a good mix. So you have some exploration, adventure, and then some combat, and that's cool. And PBNJ is playing games with his kids, so they want to roll dice nonstop. Dice rolling. And so a Candyland D&D. Where, that's some fun stuff to. I'm not ignoring you people. I'm just reading the chat right now. So Tabletop, just getting back onto it. Okay, that's cool. And using the wiki and the phone app guide. Okay, that's nice. So PB Andrew is talking about a tower that you went into, and the map was based on the board game Chutes and Ladders. And then when you hit the chute, you just drop down and you take fall damage. So wow, that's creative. That's really cool. And thank you, Ghostly Looks, for the vote. And trying not to get killed by gummy bears. Okay. So that's the Candyland D&D version.
In the chat right now?
Yeah, Travis is talking about his Candyland D&D. So there's gummy bears.
Is that something real? I'm pretty sure he created it. But
yeah.
Wow, man.
Okay, that's sweet. Literally. And thank you, Milenio, for your love of the game. That's awesome. So now you ran into a cave? Or
so there's a chest right here. Okay. But, this is a common chest, and I already have crafted the first like +1 gear, so I won't bother with that. And also, but thing is, I could get an item in there that could help me, but also traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to survive, so
Yeah.
taking damage from traps is probably not the way to go. But how's the exploration going? 7 tiles?
Yeah, 7 tiles and
6 tiles.
6 tiles and 7
Okay.
turns. So I'll just use both runs. So right here you can see that there's a white grid that transforms into a yellow grid. This means that if I move anywhere on the white grid, I only use 1 action point. So my action points are right here. They're the diamonds over here. So I can see what I can do. So I can do move action or take an action.
Okay.
But if I move on the yellow grid, I use both actions, and but I move like twice as far. I can move up to twice as far. So I'll just ignore the combat and move over here.
That's a big movement. And you're gonna explore. So apparently Travis's gummy bears were a gelatinous cube in disguise. That's a pretty nasty surprise. That's really creative stuff too. You know, when I read about what people do with their adventures, like the Penny Arcade guys back in the day were talking about DMing some stuff, and I saw some schematics and just pictures of mirrors and lasers, trying to reorient the mirrors so that you can move the laser to the goal at the end. That's really
just
really
you know, having a DM that creates puzzles for you, but you know, don't have, you know, the best. I don't mean, you know, the best drawing skills, or you know, you have to imagine how the puzzle works, and it's kind of easier to find flaws in there. But you know, you just have to go with it, and
or you can paint a word picture and just just skip the drawing, because that would not be good if I drew stuff. And hello, Abby Mary 91. Thanks for joining us. So, still looking at my notes, that's why I'm going off screen. We're going to have 2 giveaways pretty soon, because it's already 40 past the hour.
Flying.
We're going to give away the base game and Kawasha, just like yesterday. But Sophie's not here to make more giveaways, so that's going to be all that we give away today.
What say you that we go with a bit of, you know, harder questions? Because I watched the stream yesterday, and man, Sophie's question, you have, you know, what is the color of Kawasha's equipment, and you have, you know, the banner over there. You have your answer. Come on, Sophie.
And PBNJ is asking if Become discussed adding a new character to the game, like an original one.
What was that?
Did we think about adding a completely original, not from the board game character to the game?
If only that's a dream. That would be awesome, but that would require a lot of work. You know, a lot more than starting from something that already exists.
Because then it becomes like balancing the new characters with. If let's say you had all the board games in the adventure system and you want to add a new one, then it has to be balanced with all the other board games, because they're all compatible in the system. So you could take, let's say, Birdsong in the physical game, and then just take Birdsong and put her into Ravenloft or Ashardalon, and they all work together. So there's some balancing that comes into play right there, and then you have to create the look of the character, the lore, because the looks of the characters are there were some images in the board game, right? And El Ripper is saying that he can't see the streaming clearly. Oh, I'm not too sure how to help you there, though.
Is anyone else having problems with the stream or the stream?
Yeah, if it's starting to drop in quality, we're gonna have to go yell at the IT guys.
Too many drop frames.
Or you could try another platform, maybe. Try the D&D stream channel.
Yeah, maybe try another Twitch or...
And, okay, well, the D&D Twitch people are saying that it looks fine, so maybe go there. And thank you for the feedback, people. And so if you could what would you add? That's a really fun question.
Oh,
If you could add a character,
what
like,
would you
what
add?
class would you add?
Okay.
Or what?
Well, in a stream I did, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, someone came out with the new class that Matt Mercer created, the Blood Hunter.
Okay.
I wasn't aware of that. I think it was PB&J that came up with that.
Yeah, I think you've talked about it.
Yes. So I went on the internet and looked it up and just analyzed it, and man, that looks awesome. It's a bit of a mix of a witcher and a hunter in Bloodborne, which is amazing. I would love to see that in a
So it's a ranger class, right?
It's some sort of a ranger class, but that uses a lot of potions and items to hunt their prey, and it's a great class to be like lower than the neutral range in the alignment range, because it doesn't always fit to have a chaotic or evil guy in the group.
Yeah, but you can be sort of shady, I guess.
Yeah, but this just makes complete sense, having some sort of character like that in the in your campaign. So yeah, that would be amazing to see that in a.
And Gilded Fool is saying that he'd like to put Vin Diesel in the game.
Oh yeah, because he has
he's a big fan. So.
Yeah, he's a big fan, but also. Didn't he create a complete film around his D&D character?
I
his
think
Witch
I
Hunter?
read about that, yeah.
I love the guy, but...
Well, he's a big fan of D&D. Well,
yeah, he's a big fan of D&D, but he's not the guy I would see in a RPG, fantasies kind of stuff.
Well,
seeing him with
happen.
the big beard and, hair. What's that?
Well, there are some bald characters. It's not...
Yeah, but... Haven't you seen the some snippets of the movie?
No, I didn't catch it. I only read that it had.
I think there's two part where you see him as normal and see him as his witch hunter or something like that. And when he's as his witch hunter, he has a big beard and hair. Anyways.
So apparently Operkyo is saying that Matt Mercer's Blood Hunter class was made for Vin Diesel. Is it like literally Matt Mercer made it, or is it made for this outfit is made for me, but not really? But so it's 15, almost 15 to. It's 3:45 over here, so we're gonna start with the first giveaway, right? So we don't run out of time
right now,
and then I'm gonna have to go through the plugs again. Because I have my little notes.
Oh, okay. So,
for the base game, what do we ask?
I don't know.
Something. What can we ask about?
We can either go and ask something we talked about in the stream, or just test the. I don't know. We talked about. What's no
too complicated?
No, that's too easy.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the celebrity D&D. Well, that's weird.
I think I have something.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead.
No, I'll read the chat afterwards.
Okay.
So for
the base
giveaway,
game.
Yep.
Okay, so there are 3 difficulty settings in the game for each adventure. What's the name of the hardest difficulty?
That's a good one.
We didn't ask again if people were ready, but
yeah. Well, you're all listening and answering pretty quickly, so
yeah. So giveaway, guys. Giveaway.
So okay, Steve is giving hints. That's pretty generous.
Yeah.
And Ghostly Looks is just a one level of difficulty off. But I think
still not right, Ghostly.
I think he's
so
nope,
close. So close. Still not it.
Yeah, hurt me plenty.
Oh, Gilded Fool. Gilded Fool has the first right answer. Congratulations, Gilded Fool, for a Steam copy of the base game. So congratulations.
And we will give away. Yeah, congratulations. we'll give away the Kawasha DLC as well.
I have a question for that. But
please go ahead, because I'm always
we
trying.
haven't talked about that in this stream, but you have talked about it in yesterday's stream.
Okay.
Is that too much?
Depends if it's something that can be found
It's
in
lore.
the game.
It's lore based.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Not just like, hey, what kind of...
It might be too hard though.
Like, what age was the viewer's kid when they were playing? Or that would be too hard. But I think we have a pretty good crew over here that can take it. Or if it's too difficult, then
okay. So we can try, and then if you can think of another question as Plan B, you can go ahead. So question for Kawasha's DLC. If you guys are ready, well, I'm sure you guys are ready. Okay, so Kawasha is part of a group of druid. What is the name of that group?
We talked about that yesterday.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can always look at the website, I guess, to find out Kawasha's lore. I think I may have maybe. I'm not sure. So, the Emerald Enclave?
Yep, that's it.
Stovamore.
Stovamore has the right answer, so congratulations, Stovamore, who hasn't talked in the chat already.
Yeah, first intervention, and then boom.
Wins the prize.
Clutch answer.
Sorry, Junior, you just missed the giveaway.
Kawasha DLC.
So for the winners, we'll communicate with.
Well, if you won, so Gilded Fool and Stovamore, get in touch with us at ms@talesfromcandlekeep.com and just send an email. Basically, you're gonna send an email to Sophie that's gonna pick it up, and she will get in touch with you to send you your prize and your keys to win. So thank you for participating, everybody. And yeah, Junior, you got there like a minute late for the giveaway. Sorry, but there are going to be more streams next week, right?
Yeah.
Are we still going to be on the 3 streams a week schedule?
But I think so, because we can talk about that again for the guys that just.
Yeah. Well, I can do the plugs if you want. So basically, we did 3 streams this week because it's a big week. On Monday, Twitch announced the Twitch Prime Indie Amplifier. So there are 8 games nominated, including ours, that all Twitch members, not just Twitch Prime, but every Twitch member can vote for. So you can vote for one game that you prefer, and until March 11th. So when the voting is over on March 15th, every Twitch Prime member is going to receive the most voted for game. So the fan selection game is going to be awarded to every Twitch Prime member. And that includes Amazon Prime, which I discovered I'm a member of Twitch Prime.
Yeah, same here. I didn't know it was part of that,
but everybody can vote. So if you have an Amazon account, not Prime, just you have an account there, or you can create one and then you can vote. And if you want to vote for us, that's cool. And then the winning game will be awarded to every member on Twitch Prime. So that's really great. And next week, not streams with us, but not next week. Next week, there's going to be a stream on Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific with Giant Waffle and Bacon Donut that are going to be talking about our game, and another one in the Twitch Prime in the Amplifier lineup. So they're going to be talking about the game, presenting it, maybe saying, well, they look like they were big names, like they are Twitch's Giant Waffle and Bacon Donut, so they're probably big shots.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't have my Twitch cap because I don't know enough. But yeah, they're going to be talking probably why Tales from Candlekeep was picked in the finalists, I'm assuming. And they're going to be describing the game. And on March 9th, 2 days before voting ends, at 9 p.m. Pacific, Simcopter 1 is going to do a stream about our game, too. So that's pretty sweet. And don't remember that you vote until March 11th, but you vote once, so you don't have to just schedule every day to vote. One vote to win, one vote that counts. And Sophie's telling us that it's in the top right of your screen. There's a logo of the Indie Amplifier. So that's great. And I went through most of my topics. We're still in the mission.
Man, you went way too fast. We still have 7 missions. Okay, let's try to end
Well,
that.
we don't have to stop talking. I'm saying, but I still have some topics to distract you while you're trying to complete the mission. But if we complete it, that would be nice. And Genghis is gonna have his birthday on the Simcopter 1 stream, so that's sweet.
So if we don't talk, happy birthday in advance. Yeah.
And PBNJ saying you better stream 3 a week until you win the amplifier. Well, if that's what it takes, I mean, it's worth it. And I always like being here. I'm assuming that you like it too.
Yeah.
On Friday, it's awesome because we just like stream and then it's like beer o'clock at work.
Yeah, because we have we have a beer o'clock at work, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, so we just like finish the week and then just relax and go home to enjoy the weekend. So we kick off the weekend with you guys. I could think of a much worse way to end my week. So, and also about like adapting the board game into a video game. Did you play every encounter and scenario to try to break it down into every detail?
Well, we surely had to play the game.
Yeah. I'm assuming you played it more than once.
Yeah. We played it more than once, but and also we had to leave some encounters, complex traps, and also enemies out of the game because of first the scope, but also some would not translate pretty good with the video game. Like something happens to your friend on the right. Or,
Sophie was talking about that one yesterday, where it's not really feasible, especially since it's a solo game. So
we did tweak some, special abilities and encounters and stuff like that, but there were minor tweaks that would not affect the game too much.
Yeah, the feeling is still there. The inspiration, but the feeling of the game still works even if with minor tweaks. And Genghis Salad. Genghis Galahad, sorry.
Salad?
Well, I just missed the
no.
3 letters. Come on. And we like having the weekly presence, and so that's really cool. And okay, thank you. And Stovamar, wow, Sophie is really on the ball. Stovamar already got his key, so that's great. And you're welcome. And also, PBNJ is asking if multiplayer is on the roadmap.
That's a question that comes out a lot. We would really like to do so. We are in the talks of doing something like that, but we cannot confirm or tell anything about that right now. But yeah, that would be. We know that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's like the wish list.
Yeah, the wish list. We have a long wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, when you're starting the game, before like the reality of money kicks in, you have like the blue sky. What would you love to do with this? Like anything?
I think the GDD had like 250 pages.
Okay.
And not everything is in the game. Because,
unfortunately.
Yeah, reality has a way to hit you in the face.
Time being what it is, also, you only have so much time and so much like manpower to put into the game before it's due.
Exactly.
And okay, so also staying into today's theme. That's my last note over here. Right after us, Roll20 is gonna play Tomb of Annihilation.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a pretty long stream too. So they're gonna have a campaign where probably everybody dies. Sorry, but no, not necessarily. But yeah, they're gonna be playing Tomb of Annihilation. So if you're in the mood for more Tomb of Annihilation, I hope we whetted your appetite. So that's gonna be a fun afternoon or evening, depending.
Okay, let's just charge in, discover a new tile, survive
and that'll be it.
I think that'll be it.
Do you win as soon as it's discovered?
Woo! Yeah, completed.
And
2 minutes.
Only took 58 minutes.
Sorry, guys.
Well, I don't think it's wasted time. We had a good conversation, and it's fun interacting with the people. But yeah, that was. It's not usually that long when you play without chatting and without me distracting you.
And I really wanted to complete the quest because when I watch you guys do the stream, I like it when you close the stream with the victory
Yeah.
music behind. Not
Okay.
that I did it, but
And hi everybody, and that's pretty much our time. There's like 1 minute left. So thank you everybody for being here with us and for watching and for interacting. That's really great. So any closing thoughts or?
don't forget to go on the Indie Amplifier. Vote for us if you guys want to get the game and you want us to win. That would be amazing. Also, go on Steam. If you guys like the game or not, just leave us a review or criticism is always welcome. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So have a good Friday, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And closing thoughts. I don't know. We're gonna do a little dance.
Yeah, a little dance. Okay,
Exit,
guys. So this was Olivier and Felix.
Yep.
So have a great weekend, guys. Bye.